For today's tutorial, you will be needing 2 hooks, one 4mm and the other 5.5. You'll be needing 1 or 2 colors of weight for yarn, a darning needle, a pair of scissors, and a measuring tape. Before you start, you will need 2 measurements. The first measurement, M1, will be around the calf, and the second measurement, M2, will be how long you want your leg warmer to be. And I recommend measuring from below your kneecap to just around your ankle area, but of course you can adjust it the way you want to. And after you get your M2 measurement, subtract 2 inches or 5 centimeters from that measurement, and I highly recommend writing down these measurements on a piece of paper. And just for reference, my M1 measurement was 12 inches and my M2 measurement was 11 inches, but subtract 2 and it was 9 inches. So if you have the same measurements as me, follow along throughout the video. Take your main color yarn and your 4mm hook and attach a slip knot to your hook. Then chain 10. Now count 3 chains from your hook. 1, 2, 3, and into that third chain, insert a half double crochet. Now insert a half double crochet into each chain until you reach the end. And once you reach the end of your row, chain 2, turn your work over, and what you will do is insert a half double crochet into the back loop only of the first stitch. So what you will do is insert your hook only into the second loop of the V of the stitch, and you would repeat this until the end of your row. When you reach the end of your row, chain 2, and repeat this whole process of half double crocheting into the back loop only and chaining 2 for every row until you reach your M1 measurement. What I decided to do was about 29 rows. After your last stitch, chain 1 and pull your yarn, and with your scissors, fasten off. So what you will do is repeat the whole process one more time to make another identical section of ribbing like this, except do not fasten off. I've now finished my second set of ribbing, and instead of fastening off, pull your yarn a little bit with your hook to make the loop bigger, and take away your 4mm hook, and take your 5.5mm hook and insert it into the loop. Chain 2, and you'll be half double crocheting across the top of the ribbing. So yarn over and half double crochet, do the adjacent space to your chain 2, and there is no set rule for where you insert your hook. And what I did is maybe 1 or 2 half double crochets per row of ribbing. And if you don't know what that means, I would just insert your hook wherever you think there is space, and that's kind of the best way that I can explain it. At the end, chain 2, turn your work, and continue to half double crochet, and you will half double crochet until the end of your row. At the end, chain 2, turn your work, and continue another row of half double crochet, and you will repeat this process of half double crocheting and chaining 2 at the end of each row until you reach your M2 measurement, which should be the length of your leg warmer minus 2 inches. So I decided to stop at about 20 rows of half double crochets, and my M2 measurement was 9 inches, so kind of turned out perfectly. So once you are done, chain 1 and extend your yarn to make a very long tail of about maybe 3 times the width of your leg warmer. And just a spoiler alert, I made my tail too short, so don't make the same mistake that I did. What you'll be doing with this long tail is to attach your second piece of ribbing to the empty side of your main body. So take your darning needle and thread your tail through the needle, and make sure to line up your ribbing so that it matches. And thread your needle into the back of your ribbing like this. And then insert it from the front to the back of the first stitch of your main body. And then from the back to the front, insert your needle to the left edge of your ribbing again. And then insert your needle from the front to the back to a stitch. So you're going to repeat this maneuver of kind of going back and forth, front to back, from the ribbing to the main body until you attach the two pieces together. And I'll let you know how to attach another piece of yarn if you think your tail was way too short like mine. So at this point, I thought that it would be a good idea to attach a bigger piece of yarn. So I took another piece of yarn and inserted my darning needle to it. And I continued threading through and left a long piece of tail behind. And once I had a good amount of stitches, I decided to take the two ends of my yarn and double knot them together. Once you reach the end, secure your piece of yarn with a knot, and how to do that is to insert your needle into a stitch in the back side, and don't pull all the way, and leave a loop like this, and insert your needle into the loop to form a knot, and pull to secure it. And I decided to do a second knot to make it extra secure. Once you finish, fasten off. Now fold your piece in half, right sides together. Take your darning needle and your yarn and cut a very generous length of yarn. And I decided to do maybe 2 or 3 times the length of my leg warmer, and don't make the mistake that I did by being stingy with your yarn. So this part is very simple. You will just weave together the two ends, and it's just a back and forth maneuver through the edge of the leg warmer. Once you reach the end, make a knot just like we did before, and I decided to double knot like this and fasten off. I noticed that the string in the beginning portion was not secure, so I decided to double knot it with a string that was right next to it. Now take your darning needle and weave in all the loose ends into the inside of your leg warmer. And once you're done, flip your warmer inside out so that the right side is facing the outside. Now repeat this process one more time to make your other leg warmer. Now let's start the bow and pom-pom. If you're using a second color, take that color of yarn and your 4mm hook, and what you will do is make a slip knot, but designate a long tail of about 10 inches behind your slip knot. Now attach that to your hook and chain 120. And once you're done, chain 1 and pull your hook so that you have a long tail again, and fasten off. So now you should have your chain of 120 and the two ends with long tails. Repeat this process one more time. Now let's make pom-poms. So take the same yarn in your 3 fingers and wrap it around your 3 fingers for a total of 30 times. Now take your scissors and cut your yarn at about a foot length. Now carefully transfer the wrapped yarn to your index finger and your thumb like this. And take that tail and put it through the middle like this. And pull it through the hole. And what you will do is put that tail through the string to form a little knot and tug on it, and it should form a little bow-like structure. Now repeat again, so put it through the hole and put the tail through the yarn again to form a knot, and pull tightly. After that, you can take the yarn off your fingers. Now take your scissors and you will cut through each of the loops. Now I recommend getting a piece of paper or a plastic bag to put underneath your pom-pom. And trust me, this is the most fun part of this project. So what you're going to do is cut along the outside of the pom-pom to kind of make the shape that looks like this. And keep going until you're satisfied with the shape of the pom-pom. And repeat this process until you have a total of 4 pom-poms. Now take your leg warmer and make sure that the seam is in the middle and flip it over to the blank side. And also take your 120 chain and thread the long tail through your darning needle. And find the middle of the ribbing and insert your hook from the front to the back of the ribbing. And make sure to leave some of the chain out. And what you'll be doing is weaving back and forth inside and outside of the ribbing. And I recommend going in intervals of 1 half double crochet row, and you'll keep doing this until you meet up with your beginning tail. Now it's time to attach our pom-poms, and the reason why we made the tails so long is to do just that. So take your darning needle and thread your string through that needle. And take your pom-pom and insert it through the middle of the pom-pom. And keep threading your tail through the middle as many times until you think your pom-pom is secured. And make sure to fluff up your pom-pom every time. And once you think you are finished, insert your needle again and form a knot like we've been doing before by not pulling all the way through and leaving a loop like this and inserting your needle through that loop to form a knot. And again, make sure to fluff up the pom-pom that the knot kind of pulls inside. And finally, cut that thread so that it matches the length of your pom-pom and blends in. Now repeat this process with the second pom-pom. Now do the same thing for your second leg warmer, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I'm definitely going to be wearing these every single day. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.